its 10th vote.
Plus, it's been 2 years since the deadly implosion of the Titan submersible. This week, the NTSB released its final report and says what caused it.
And take a look at this. It was a close call for firefighters in Illinois after a grain bin elevator suddenly collapsed right in front of them. More of this dramatic video is ahead.
Starting right away this evening with some breaking news. Right now, crews are dealing with a significant water main break in Rossford.
The break had flooded a portion of Superior Street right in front of Rossford High School. Earlier, students were dismissed and all school activities have been canceled. The water's gone down, but it's still a lot to clean up.
City Administrator Allison Murray says the city did not have any indication there were issues in the area, but she says the fast response from everyone involved was great.
We detoured the traffic immediately, and our major concern right now is keeping everyone safe while school gets out and people pick up their kids from school, and maintaining the traffic and make sure that it's detoured. The city of Rossford has outstanding police, fire, and public works employees, and they do whatever it takes to keep our citizens safe.
Rossford's police chief says ODOT crews told him the water main break happened because of the drought. Our WTOL 11 meteorologists say this is rare but possible during severe or extreme droughts.
The road is still closed. The city doesn't know yet when it will reopen. Other stories we're tracking tonight. The entire diverging diamond interchange at I-475 in Perrysburg is back open after being shut down most of the day after an early morning crash.
Perrysburg police tell us the crash was caused by a high-speed related mistake. The driver actually went over the median, crossed into one of the grass islands and hit a pole, taking out the light for hours. The
driver is currently in the hospital because of it. Michael Sandlin has more.
New traffic patterns seem to be popping up all the time. First, it was roundabouts. Now, it's diverging diamond interchanges. The traffic pattern looks like so, and you can see how it got its name from its unique shape. ODOT's Kelsey Hoagland says they're perfect for busy business corridors like US 25 because they're specifically designed with safety in mind.
They are designed in a way to actually make it very difficult to have a wrong way crash. So getting on the interstate going the wrong way is very difficult in a diverging diamond because of the layout and configuration. So it is very intentional, the design.
Hoagland says that's what makes Thursday morning's crash here at the diverging diamond even more surprising because things like this almost never happen. In fact, in the 8 years since this diverging diamond was built, this has only happened twice.
When we do see something like that, we really do know that something unusual had happened. This was, again, someone who departed the actual configuration of the roadway, probably traveling at an unusual rate of speed. They were approaching a red light, so either way, they weren't following even those typical indicators.
Which is a good sign for drivers who follow the rules, because we can expect to see a lot more diverging diamonds in the near future. Maumee's first diverging diamond just opened in August. And Hoagland tells me there are now plans for the traffic pattern down in Findlay, a second location in Perrysburg at the Fremont Pike exit, and over on Airport Highway.
The intention of a diverging diamond is to increase that safety again, alleviating those chances of the 90-degree angle, those T-bone crashes, and reducing the chance of getting on the interstate going the wrong direction. So it's a very well-intended design.
Michael joins me now. Michael, in your story, you apparently these diverging diamonds are here to stay.
Yes,
in your story,
yes.
you listed a bunch of them that are on the horizon. What's on the agenda here?
So the next one's going to be coming to Findlay. This one's going to be coming to County Road 99. They've been working on it for about the last 2 years now, and it's set to be done by the end of this year. So for people out in Findlay, this is right around the corner. So definitely prepare for some new methods of driving and get ready for some new ways to think about being on the road.
Are they the same kind of structure always, or is there some difference in different regions? Like, do Michigan drivers have an easier time going through these?
Well, they might, because there's something that they're incorporating here in the design that we don't often see. You're familiar with the Michigan left, how people in Michigan can turn left on red. Well, it's the same thing with diverging diamonds. Once you reach a full stop, there's actually a little sign at the top. You'll see it. It says you can turn left on red once the road is clear. So that's not something that us Ohio drivers are used to necessarily, but they say it's really effective and it helps really help control the flow of traffic. So something that Michigan drivers might be a little more familiar with.
Well, roundabouts have been very confusing for some drivers.
Sure.
It was a little difficult when we first got going on it, but now it's no problem at all, except that one driver comes through there and then you got to be careful because they stop and the whole thing. I guess in time we get used to these diverging diamonds.
Yeah, it's funny because it feels new for us, but that one in Perrysburg has been there for the last 8 years.
Has it really?
Yeah, so it's the kind of thing where maybe it still feels a little unnatural. We've been on the road for decades now, but eventually it all will become normal for us. Roundabouts were once a huge headache too. Eventually this will all settle in, I hope.
As we start seeing more of them, I guess we'll all settle in and be used to them.
Well, fingers crossed.
Michael Sandlin,
thanks
so much.
Here's some stories making headlines across the country and world. The NTSB has released its final report on the Titan submersible implosion, plus new charges filed against the man accused of starting a California wildfire that left several dead. And the Senate votes for the 10th time on the Republican measure to fund the federal government and end the shutdown. But first, the bodies of 2 more hostages are back in Israel. Hamas returned the bodies of 2 hostages to Israel yesterday as part of a delicate truce, saying that was all they could recover. The Gaza Health Ministry now confirms it has received more than 100 Palestinian bodies from Israel, but the group is retaining power and fear on the Gaza Strip. While the White House works with Israel to set up a safe zone for Palestinian civilians, there is still no set governance in Gaza. It appears the government shutdown will continue into next week. Today, a divided Senate failed again to advance the Republican-led stopgap funding bill after a 10th vote. A majority of Democrats are refusing to join the GOP unless better health care funding is assured. Republicans need 60 votes to advance the bill that would fund the government through late November. Senators are set to leave town with no votes planned on Friday or the weekend. Monday would be the next earliest vote. Well, the man arrested in connection with starting the deadly Palisades fire in Los Angeles is facing new charges. A federal grand jury indicted the 29-year-old on 2 additional federal charges. He was already facing 1 charge related to the January fire that burned up the Pacific Palisades area and killed 12 people. The 29-year-old made his initial appearance in an Orlando federal court last week and will appear in front of a judge in Los Angeles soon. If convicted on all charges, he now faces up to 45 years in prison. The NTSB says the 2023 Titan submersible implosion was caused by OceanGate's inadequate engineering process. The board's final report says the vessel sustained damage during 2 previous dives, which then continued to deteriorate. It went on to say OceanGate failed to adequately test the Titan, so they didn't know its actual strength or durability, in addition to flawed real-time monitoring data. As a result, the company didn't know they should have removed the Titan from service following that previous damage.
My doctor was like, how much do you think it's going to weigh? And I was like, 12.5 pounds, because I just went before. And yeah, he was way over that.
A big bundle of joy. One Tennessee couple says big babies run in the family, but nothing could have surprised them for the arrival of their first child together. John?
And some big changes in the weather coming our way for the weekend, tracking rainy and also windy conditions. I'll let you know when the rain arrives and how much you can expect coming up next.
We have the latest on what's trending in social media. Here's Noelle Blumel on our TikTok page.
Toledo hockey comes back this Saturday, and for one walleye, this season serves as a homecoming. Tanner Dickinson was born in Perrysburg and signed with the Walleye on Monday. He was drafted in the 4th round of the 2020 NHL draft and has since played 2 professional seasons. He actually signed to play in Slovakia this summer, where he made 7 team appearances, but opted to come back and play with the Walleye this season. We got a chance to catch up with Dickinson and the Walleye before their season opener this Saturday in Indy, and here's what he said about playing with his hometown team.
Yeah, it's going to be a great experience. I'm super excited. Not often do you get to play in your hometown in front of all your family and friends, so I'm looking forward to it.
Make sure you're following WTOL 11 on your favorite social media platform to stay up to date. Take a look at this silo in Illinois collapsing, sending dust and debris flying. You're seeing workers and first responders running as the elevator snaps in half, tumbling to the ground. Authorities say the silo, built in 1972, was filled with 30,000 bushels of harvested soybeans when it failed. Photos after the incident show the damage from all that weight crashing down. Now broken power lines have left the area without electricity. Remarkably, everyone escaped unharmed. The local fire department credits quick-thinking crews for evacuating the area around the silo before it came down. Now, what would you do if you found an egg on the side of the road next to a dead bird? One Midwestern family decided to try to rescue it. Ben Bulfer's uncle found the egg while bike riding. Bulfer put it in his incubator and woke up the next morning to find a turkey breaking out. The Minnesota family named it Tiny for being a tiny miracle. Tiny is like any other regular turkey. It loves to play with the family dog and pick at shoelaces and windows.
She kind of imprinted on me and our little dog. She followed the dog everywhere, and the dog would lay down in the bed and she would lay down and snuggle with it. I think it's fascinating how much they can adapt to suburb life.
Now that Tiny isn't so tiny anymore. They moved the turkey to a family property in southern Minnesota, where it's now roaming free on 5 acres of land.
Oh, man.
Stay away late November, buddy boy.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving gets
really
close.
Gives you a whole new attitude towards Thanksgiving dinner. Wouldn't have expected the dog and the turkey to get along exactly, but
No.
I guess best friends.
And like picking it, that beak looks sharp. I'd be afraid to pick at me.
Pick your eyes out.
It's cute as a newborn.
See
but
the
then,
birds? Is that from the movie The Birds? Right?
The birds. What's happening with weather, my friend?
Well, when you're looking up to the sky, you're going to be seeing those raindrops flying down this weekend. It's
That's
something we
okay.
really haven't seen a whole lot
That's
of.
okay. We need it.
We do need the rain. We'll take it. We do have another dry day tomorrow. Going to be a really nice, mild Friday for those high school football games before some changes in the weather arrive for the weekend. Mild and dry conditions are expected heading into the weekend. Highs are going to be up near 70, so a little bit of a milder feel with partly sunny skies and a slight increase in late day cloud cover. Over the course of your Thursday evening, temperatures have been right around the 60-degree mark with that beautiful sunshine. Definitely on the cooler side today, and overnight lows today are expected to drop down near 40 degrees tonight. High pressure is keeping dry conditions across the Great Lakes and much of the Midwest regions. However, I have sights on our next weather disturbance that is currently out in the northern plains. An area of low pressure near the Dakotas and a strong fall cold front is going to bring us rainy as well as windy weather for the tail end of the weekend. Another dry one tomorrow. It is going to be a little warmer after a cool start to the day. Mild and dry, highs around 70 degrees. There is going to be a bit more late day cloud cover after a sunny start to the morning. Here's a look at the hour by hour forecast. Temperatures top out around 70, and we're going to get even warmer into the weekend. How about near 80-degree warmth for your Saturday? It's going to be short-lived. A milder southwest breeze lifts those high temperatures to right around 80 degrees. Now that strong fall cold front is going to send temperatures crashing down and also returning rain to the region. That is likely to come in late Saturday evening and then Sunday as well, with a very breezy and wet feel for the tail end of the weekend. Hour by hour forecast. Friday does feature a little more late day cloud cover. It is expected to be a totally dry day. Saturday is going to be a very warm one. Temperatures surging to 80 degrees. That weather disturbance is going to be on the side of your screen as that autumn cold front swings in from the west. Looking at the hourly timeline, by the evening We do have some rain and perhaps even a few thunderstorms that'll be moving in by late Saturday evening. As you're asleep and into Sunday morning, the wind is going to pick up. Gusts to 35 miles an hour will be possible. And throughout the day Sunday, there will be some periodic showers as well as a breezy and damp feel. Temperatures are going to be dropping throughout the day, and we're going to go from an 80-degree day Saturday down into the 60s for your Sunday. Now, that rainfall coming is very good news. Our extreme drought conditions have grown across the area and now encompass much of Lucas County all the way down towards Findlay and extending up to the lakeshore. That is the new addition to that latest drought monitor, and it's stretching all the way along the Maumee River towards Fort Wayne, essentially. So weather impacts that we're expecting. Tomorrow going to be a quiet day to start off the weekend. Dry, mild, partly sunny, a little more late day cloud cover. Heading into the weekend, very warm for your Saturday. Rain chances rolling in late in the evening. We're talking about 8 to 10 p.m. at the earliest. Rainy and windy weather, that is going to be likely for your Sunday, so you will need the umbrella handy and plan on a blustery setting as well for those weekend plans. Rain chances top out at a 70% on Sunday. We do have another slight chance of showers Tuesday with a gusty day as our next cold front moves on through. And in the wake of that second cold front, look at those temperatures. By Wednesday and Thursday, highs are going to be in the 50s, lows around 40 degrees. So there are going to be some significantly cooler autumn days ahead, but also after the rain, we do dry out towards the end of the 10-day forecast. So keep that jacket handy as we head towards late October. Kaylee?
All right, thanks, John. A Tennessee couple knew they were going to have a big baby. Her previous babies were born at 8 pounds, 13 ounces and 9 pounds, 13 ounces.
But what she didn't expect with the first boy in the family would be so big. Olivia Daig has the story.
They say big blessings come in small packages.
What is it?
For Kayla Jeffers and her fiance, Jordan Dobb,
He weighed 13 pounds, 3 ounces.
not so
He
much.
was big throughout my whole pregnancy.
This is Kayla's third baby. Her others weighed in at around 8 and 9 pounds. Previous doctor's visits indicated this one would be a big baby.
My doctor was like, how much do you think he's going to weigh? And I was like, 12 and a half pounds, because I just went before. And yeah, he was way over that.
Weston Payne was welcomed into the world on September 16th at Park West Hospital.
The doctor almost couldn't lift him out of the...
Yeah, she was like, he's so heavy, I can't get him up, because she lifted him over the drape to show him.
You'll understand when I say, when I looked and saw how big he was. He was huge.
His parents say he was quite the celebrity that day with hospital staff.
Before they clocked in, they came straight up and checked.
To our room, yeah.
And said that was the biggest baby that the hospital has seen.
And there's an added blessing. Weston is Kayla and Jordan's first baby together, joining their other 4 kids.
He's our first boy. We have all girls from 9 to 14.
Even though he's wearing 3 to 6 month old onesies and drinking a lot more milk,
He's a blessing for sure.
He is.
These parents wouldn't change a thing.
I guess don't be afraid to have a big baby. It's uncomfortable.
And what entails with it, because he's been great so far.
That is a big boy. Well, still to come, they've hit their limit. 2 cats were recently dumped at the Fulton County Humane Society, but the shelter was already full. The message from those at the Humane Society tonight.
Plus, a longtime and beloved EMT instructor is getting ready to retire soon. We'll introduce you to the woman who helped shape the next generation of first responders.
Thanks for being with us here on WTOL 11+.
Here's a look at some of the local stories we are following tonight. The Sandusky County Sheriff's Office is looking for this missing 67-year-old man. His name is David England. The Sheriff's Office says he was last seen at home in Bellevue last Wednesday. That's when the Sheriff's Office says he walked away with no belongings or a vehicle. If you've seen him or heard from him, call the Sandusky County Sheriff's Office at 419-332-2613.
The Fulton County Humane Society says it's dealt with several illegal animal dumpings since the spring, but after an incident earlier this week, those at the shelter knew they had to say something. Those at the Humane Society say adding more animals while already full adds a financial burden they're already struggling to cover. Staff is forced to move cats and provide full medical care for animals they never planned to take in. Shelter leaders say people ignoring the burden it places on both workers and the animals already in care.
It's just frustrating. So I understand that people are desperate, and that's an act of desperation, but there is a trickle-down effect to that. You know, they got rid of their problem and it becomes somebody else's problem.
The cats that were dumped right here have already found a foster home as they await adoption. Those at the shelter say the best way to help is with a donation, fostering animals, or adopting.
Winter is coming. Without a stable roof over your head, the cold weather can be tough. Today, one business found out a veteran who didn't have the right roof, so they stepped in to help. Great Lakes Home Remodeling learned veteran Butch Stewart needed some help. So the company got out their tools and supplies and got to work today. To Great Lakes Home Remodeling, this may have been a simple job, but to Butch and his brother, it meant an awful lot.
Those are the type of people that we serve, we raise our right hand, we bleed and die for. These are special people, and it makes it all worth the while that they care enough about us to stop and say, we want to share what we have with you.
I want to thank everybody for coming over and doing what they're doing. It's out of the kindness of their heart, you know, and I'm really grateful, I really am.
We thank Butch and his brother Bob for their service.
The University of Toledo is celebrating its 19th president, James Holloway. The university hosted an inauguration today. Leaders, faculty, and students, as well as representatives from other universities, walked with Holloway from the Thompson Student Union to Savage Arena. Once inside the arena, Holloway shared his vision for the university's next chapter. Those at the university say Holloway came to U Toledo from the University of New Mexico, where he served as provost and executive vice president for academic affairs for the last 6 years. A nonprofit organization at Friendship Park held a special early birthday celebration for a World War II veteran turning 100 years old. J.C. Hoffman served in the Army from 1943 to 1946. He was taken out of Scott High School and drafted into the Army at 18 years old. During his time in the Army, he was a quartermaster. He supplied clothing, food, and ammunition to frontline staff and served in France, Germany, and Belgium. While Hoffman is turning 100, he said people don't need to worry about his health.
Yeah, I'm still driving, and an awful lot of people have asked about my longevity, but I don't know what to tell them because I don't know why I live so long. But I've been pretty healthy throughout my life.
Well, about 60 people came out to celebrate. His birthday is October 21st.
Don't forget to check out some of the other exclusive content we have on WTOL 11+ on a new episode of Good News Forecast. Sophia and Kaylee talk about a local muralist with a mission.
Peace, love, and a pop of color. Popular muralist Dean Davis finishes latest mural on the side of the Peace, Love, and Happiness World Headquarters building on the corner of Superior and Adams.
Yeah, he painted it live during the Block Rocking Street Fair. The mural features an all you need is love message, hoping to lift the community's spirits as we head into this winter weather.
You know, this is his 4th year into this project, and we started that the first year. And so what we're able to do this year is to extend it on the wall, this beautiful, beautiful sunset with a hidden message inside the sun. And it's just going to have a final glow. And what I love about it is the fact that, you know, it's just another piece of public art that going into winter, people have a struggle, and this is uplifting for them. So if we can combat anything with mental health, give people a little bit of positivity during those months, I'm going to keep leaning in as long as I can.
This comes on the heels of one of Davis's most recent projects, which was a mural at Clay High School. This is definitely needed heading in to the winter.
We need some bright colors, those gray skies, the cooler temp, the seasonal depression, it hits you hard. Just seeing, he is a talented muralist.
Yes.
We had him on Good Day a couple weeks ago, and he brought in a portrait. I mean, it was the size of us. It was tall. And he said, oh yeah, this is one of my smaller paintings.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, I guess when you see his murals, that would be small in comparison, but he is just making Toledo even more beautiful than it already is. He's filling our city with beautiful colors. And again, going into the wintertime, this is much needed. I don't know if you've seen the one, okay, not everyone has been to the WTOL 11 station, but as you're leaving the gate, there's a mural outside. And if you're ever in downtown Toledo, go down Walnut Street past WTOL and it'll be on your left if you go down Walnut.
Yep.
And I remember when it was being painted and I was noticing it, I was like, what is that?
What is going on?
And then I saw it when it was done and it is just a beautiful thing. And it's nice to see that leaving work.
And also, if you don't want to come to WTOL 11, you can go across the street to the Maumee, or across the Maumee, I should say.
Yeah.
And at the parks, the docks, you'll be able to see it from the restaurants right there.
Yeah.
So, also, if you didn't know, he painted the silos along the
Yes.
Maumee on I-75. I think it's the biggest mural
in America.
Yeah. It's there's some biggest something. I forget what it is, but Dean, congratulations. You're just so talented.
Keep rocking it.
Aw.
You can watch Good News Forecast on WTOL 11 Plus next.
A beloved EMT instructor who trained more than 1,000 first responders will soon retire. Those at Owens Community College say Heidi Heiss has been an adjunct instructor at the school since 1988. She's been the cornerstone of the Owens EMS program. She says she's blessed to have been able to do something for so long that she enjoys, but it's time for retirement. She says it's nice to see people who she trained grow and achieve big things in the field.
I truly like seeing when the kids succeed. You know, like we did something good. And they're out there saving lives. And that's the best part. When I have a student come back and tell me that because I taught them a certain way, they were able to save a life. That's the best thing. And I get that a lot.
She is also a retired captain from Springfield Township. Those at the community college say she'll be teaching till the end of the year and then will move to part-time.
Well, if the furnace isn't on already, which it should be, mine is. I know Dan's is.
Flipped it on today for the first time.
Okay, so that makes three of us. You're definitely going to need it next week. Highs are only going to be in the 50s, so you can imagine how chilly those overnight lows are going to feel. Now, before we get to that cool down, we actually have a brief but big warm-up Saturday as temperatures climb to 80, and then that strong fall cold front brings rainy and windy weather Saturday night and Sunday. We get another front Tuesday that could bring a few more showers, and there's those chillier fall days. Highs in the 50s, lows going to be right around 40 degrees, so stay warm and grab a couple extra layers.
Thanks for joining us here on WTOL 11 Plus. We'll see you tonight at 11 o'clock.